Hello, my name is Eugen Konkov. I am talking today about debugging with Perl. I say a few words about debug tool. Sauer says that it's not handy. We will try to debug example Mojolicious application. If somebody is interested in interactive debugging Apache plus mod Perl, that is possible, just drop me a message. I will say about features my debugger has. We will implement new debugger command and debugger command. Standard debugger tools are not usable, so at 2015 year I'm starting to write my own debugger. It was Devil Debug Hooks and available for free at this address. 2 years ago I rewrite it from scratch. Now it named Debug Hooks because these do nothing, just emit events which we can subscribe to them. Application which we will debug today available here. It has two roads. One road which always dies and second road which dies randomly. You have two options to run this application. One from terminal, and second, you run this application on remote server. To start debugging this application, you need one thing, just set a Perl 5db environment variable and run your Perl with -d flag. You just set up this value. To make things easy, I create a small makefile where we will do this adjustment. Here's so we run our application. Here's target command. So here is controller with those two actions which dies always and randomly dies. Here I put manual breakpoint. When execution of the script reach it, we are stopped. So we can see our debugger. We can do something here. And second option, if we run this application on a remote server. We just added the parameter server and run application again. Now you connect to debugger session with native tool. You should provide AP address and port where to connect, or you can use telnet. Everything is fine. Nothing special there. We make request. And we are at debugger. Telnet. Nothing happened. We must send command to our debugger. Here we are. Let's see next section. In our application, this action dies. How dies? We don't know, randomly. To debug this, we should do three things. First, we should dump request. I write Mojolicious plugin debug module, which do this. When requests arrive and after dispatch, we check if there was exceptions. Then we write to this file next information: package, file line where exception occur, and request. Its method, URL, headers, and body. Here is this file. Body, headers, line, URL. Second example. We see that application is died, and information about request and where exception occur is saved. After this, we should resend this dumped request to our applications. I will do with Mojolicious command reproduce. What this command does? This command opens saved request and send command to our application to set breakpoint at given package file line. Let's see what is action. This is debug plugin. Here it load class where exception occur, and then run debugger command to set breakpoint at given file and line. That's all. After we set breakpoint, this script tries to resend this request, which lead to random exceptions. So this is a request. Now we reproduce. We see this command make some requests, and last one failed. We can see we are in our debugger. When exception is reproduced, we can do many things to debug why it occurs. So which things we can do here? We can list the source code step into, step over, continue script execution, put breakpoints, return from subroutine, look our stack frames, or show look which files in our project, for example. We see how many files are loaded by this application. Here is our stack, few debugger stack frames. Advancing commands. We can list a target frame from the stack. For example, we do some steps inside die. Step 1, step 2. We do two-step and we want to list the second frame from top. L-2. So we can see we at point where we die 2 frames up. We can list code by not just list source code, we can list target subroutine. For example, we see that this Mojolicious exception modular and subroutine rise, and we list it. We can list not only by name. If we have subroutine and some variable, if we have code reference, we may list by code reference. So let's we take reference of our subroutine and list. Last listing is just source code. Previous listing is compiled per code and deparsed. So this is code how Perl sees your subroutine. As I already showed, we can list code by providing file name and line. But also we can search required files in our projects. We just provide to files debugger command some regular expression, for example. Now we see a list of files which match our provided regular expression. After this, we can use file name to list source, or use this number. For example, list file number 0 and line 18. Here we are. Advancing commands. As I have shown, we can list the files matched by regular expressions. We can do step into step over, return to n frames up. We can set breakpoints by a file line, like this. But we can see that breakpoint is activated. It always stopped and is how it's displayed when we listing our code. Also, we can put breakpoints by subroutine name. We just put this subroutine name and now debugger will be stopped for every subroutine which will match this name. Actually, this is regular expression like we provide for files. So we can write something also we can put conditional breakpoints. You can see that now our breakpoint have condition. When execution reach this point, this expression will be evaluated at script context, and if it return true value, debugger is stopped and interactive shell brings up. Killer features, vars. This command will spy variable, allow to spy variables at a given stack frame, and also we can spy which value it has. At current stack frames, only one variable available, export OK. Here too, and at this stack frame, more variables available. We can spy which value they have. We can see just a reference to this subroutine, and where we see that is anonymous subroutine. But also we can look which code this subroutine has. We just assign and list. So debugging of anonymous subroutines is more handy. Next, in addition to breakpoints, we can set actions at a given point. For example, if we want to do something at this line, we can write action and when execution will reach this point, this message will appear on the screen. Also, you can provide any expression. For example, this debugger command will display content of tx variable. Very handy tool for action is that we can provide another debugger command to it. For example, we have TV debugger command which allow us to trace variable access. Access to arrays, scalars, and hashes can be traced. Now, let's see this in action. Trace variable. Often when we are at our action, we want to see what this request has and to look its contact, how we get this contact at this point. We can see full history. Action is available now, so go. We see requests are repeated. This here request is reproduced, and what here's the line where requests come. Now we can see that at our breakpoint, stash has this case: action config controller captures, and all they are created at this time. For example, Mojolicious was for example, pass first accessed at this code, at this line of code. Now we can open the source of this file and make some changes. At the second line, we can see Mojolicious initialize module captures. This happened at line 40. Here is it. We can see it's artiset. Module captures check it for definedness and then initialize it by hash. Here we can see that at line 40 it was undef and after it it's now a hash. Even if you take reference to some value and pass to subroutine, all this history is will be displayed too. Also, my debugger has kill print module, which allows us to stop debugging by writing print statements. We write print statements after debugging. We remove, then we again write. But with this module, you can stop to do this. You just put some comments and say to debugger, I want to debug this part or that. How it looks. So here's example of code. You put comment that at this point we run this debugger command or any expression you want. This command are named by iter, and there is here no name. It's just default. If you run your script with these options, both commands will be executed. If you provide some name, only this expression will be executed, or default, this one. My debugger allowed to debug everything. This is even begin, check, init, and blocks. You just adjust environment variable and run your script with debug option. You can see that we are stopped at begin. At this point, the end of script is not available yet. When we debug this block, we can continue. Check block, init block, and now we stopped it somewhere at our script. My debugger allows to debug require, do, and eval statements. You just step into. You see eval expressions. Now we inside eval. Here is file and line of eval. We step each expression of eval, and now we returned back to our script and continue debugging. Here you see we are stopped at end block. And also you can notice that we come from debugger here. Stack frame is next. Main well, main end. My debugger allows easy command implementation. What you need, you just define package name, you define subroutine which handle event message from debugger, and you subscribe your handler to debugger event. That is. To use this module, you just provide parameter at Perl pad db. Here is our trace load command, and now we will try to use it. We adjust our environment variable with this parameter and run debugging. You can see output from our new command. Now I will show how to debug it. You know, with standard debugger, that is impossible to debug debugger commands. Now we can. We just put this statement and run debugging. Now we can see after begin block, when file is compiled, debugger emit load event. When event is emitted, we are stopped at our handler for this event. We display some message. We can debug, we can spy our stack and do everything. I don't know, Perl didn't show any code which is compiled at the db package, so this is empty. We can see code at 6 frames up. It was easy to implement new commands. Yes, it was. This I will show. And main very useful feature is you can start debugging from the script. You can start another debugging session. For example, you now at T1 subroutine. We can see that we come from here, then here, and we realize that this sub should be run with different parameters. You don't require to run your application again with new parameters. You just call this subroutine with different parameters. So when it's run as in code, it returns to 0, or if you run with different parameters. You even start to debug this subroutine. You just put D expression, and we see that debugger is started. Here's we see double D. This means we are inside another debugger session. We step enter, and so we are again at this point, but at level 2. It's not limited how many debuggers you run. You can run it again with different parameters if you don't like values you get here. Again, we see third level. If we look at our stack, we see next first execution usual. We we fall inside debugger, then we start new debugger session. This subroutine do something was Tedin was called. Then we start another debugger session, and here is a frame of a current debugger. I should put a note that dbx is similar to db single one. And I want to say a few words of Mojolicious web framework. It's very handy. Why you choose it? It's very handy. It's stable, fast, reliable. It has many features and excellent documentation. If you use it before, you must try to use it. I want to say thanks to these people: Greens, Ilmeri, Amestese, Fram, Pink Mist, Ether, Har, Leonard, and other. So, your questions. Okay, if you are interested in my debugger, you can buy it. This is price. Just drop me a message to Telegram account.